Oh, we're live. There we go. Yeah, a couple minutes late.
Stream is live.
Mike,
Outstanding.
yes, Mike was here at Dark 30 again, I think.
Yeah, I got 1107 on his comment. So,
Okay. Yeah. There was
oh,
one, I think there was one earlier, but yeah, it disappeared. So,
yeah, all I see is my high mic. That's okay.
huh.
That's okay. Well, you
Mike
stay.
was here early.
He was first in. Uh,
Yeah.
what do you think of this Idaho thing, dude?
Oh,
May as well start it off
you
with a
know,
bang. Hi, Chew.
I, yeah, I posted something on my personal Facebook about it, and from being, from being an EMS for the length of time you were, there's always that little quote unquote rivalry between the cops and the firefighters. But several years ago, a buddy of mine who's a firefighter sent me this thing, and it was a list of, if this happens, we're coming for you. If this happens, we're coming for you. And I mean, it was a heartfelt thing from a firefighter to a cop.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, my reply to that was goes both ways, brother.
Yeah.
We can talk smack about host jockeys and ladder monkeys and stuff like that. And of course they talk their crap about us too. But it's all in good, clean fun. And pardon the expression, but when the shit hits the fan, we're coming.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're bebopping around in a Ford Explorer with red and blue lights or a big red truck with a ladder hanging off the back. We're coming.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's like you done poked the bear. And
Yep.
there's actually video of the procession escorting their remains to the ME's office. And
I saw him.
No matter how many times you've been a part of one of those processions or you see those processions, it never gets easy to deal with.
Yeah.
And I really, I pray for their department, the community and their families, because that's just, that's a coward that sets a fire so that he can ambush firefighters that can't even defend themselves.
Well, I got my feelings about that. There's no way in hell this guy, just acted alone, whether it be
right.
To be honest with you, are you familiar with Angry Prepper?
Yes.
Okay. Angry Prepper, I don't see eye to eye with him on 100% of things, but he is a really good channel, and he's a firefighter in New York City. And
right.
And he said, and if I may be mistaken on the training part, but they had a training meeting, I think. But anyway, he was talking about this being something that they were talking about, a possibility of happening, 2 or 3 weeks ago in one of his videos. And, and then boom, here it comes, I would never have dreamed. Coeur d'Alene, but I just it's pretty sad when first responders. I mean, I get it with law enforcement, but when everybody as a first responder, especially EMS and fire, have to start thinking about wearing body armor and.
Well, there for a minute, my understanding is it's optional now, but there for a minute it was mandatory in Detroit that anytime EMS or fire rolled out of the station, they had to have body armor on.
Yeah.
My understanding is now it's optional, but there for a good stretch it was mandatory. And it's the world we live in nowadays, and it's sad. And I mean, I can go back to the early 90s during the LA riots after the Rodney King verdict. You actually had police officers And in the case out there, and just like it is in Detroit now, your arson investigators are law enforcement. They're police officers too.
Yeah.
And here's these guys in full fire turnout gear with 12 gauge shotguns riding on the trucks to protect the firefighters that are trying to put out the fires.
Yeah.
That's like, you got to be a real coward to go after somebody that can't defend themselves.
Yep.
It's, and yeah, like you said, yeah, I understand it. I was a walking human target for 20 years. And I still am now, working in the private sector in a hospital. We wear body armor. We look like SWAT when we go to work.
Yep.
And it's, it's sad because heck, you retired and got a job in hospital security back in the day. It was dress pants, a sport coat, and a tie with a badge or a patch sewn on the pocket of the sport coat. There's a hospital security on it.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got body armor and tasers and body cameras and you name it.
Yep. Pepper flavored spray.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad state of affairs. Unfortunately, I think it's probably gonna happen more than once too. There's just some nutty stuff on. There's Emerald Coast, Marsh, Cartier, all kind of people in here.
Okay, what the heck? Can everybody else see and hear me?
I can hear you. Folks, we have our snafu. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hello?
Okay, not quite sure what happened there. Let's see.
I can hear you.
All right. Can everybody else see Cranky or?
Hello? Am I not in the picture? I can see me on my phone.
Okay. We lost each other for a minute.
That's weird. I could hear you the whole time.
Okay, because I was sitting here looking, and you were doing this. So
I was?
Yeah. It went black. It went black. Where we joke around about, and it's thinking.
Oh wow!
And it's thinking, and it's thinking. I'm like, what the heck? So, all right.
Jack Stacks, I did get your email, yes, and thank you very much. Blister and Barnacles, hi. Kevin Hawthorne, hi. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. That was kind of.
Yeah, it said something about move closer to your router, and I'm like, I always
see
right
here. now you were kind of techno on that last verbal thing, so but it's now it's okay. I'm not surprised. I think the internet's trying to adopt the quality standards of the United States Postal Service. So, well, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, you send out 3 packages the same day. One is going to Omaha, Nebraska.
United States.
To the UK, and one's going to Saskatchewan in Canada. And the one going to the UK gets to its destination before Omaha or Saskatchewan by like weeks.
Yeah, isn't that just amazing? Folks, you heard it right here. Missy just gave you the exact sequence of delivery from 3 packages mailed the same day. One to me in Omaha, in the United States, one across the river to Canada, and one to the United Kingdom, Jack Stacks. And he got his before either one of us got ours. And the one to Canada was received before. Isn't that something?
Oh, yeah.
It's just nuts. It's nuts.
Well,
but
or you sit there and you watch them. You know, somebody sends you something and they send you the tracking, and the package sits at the original post office it was dropped off at for 10 days before it moves.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm kind of. I've been too broke to send much out anyway, so
we need to get another hat made up like the president's, but this one's gonna make the postal service great again.
Yeah, well, that should fall under Doge's.
Oh yeah, I would hope.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it, to see that? SGT, I hope things are good for you. Oh, by the way, you guys, I got to show you this. This is really cool, y'all. I haven't shown this before, and this is something my neighbor has started doing this. And SGT, I thought of you just immediately when I got this. Let's see if I can get the camera to look in on it. He polishes his brass, and this has the U.S. Air Force logo on it. And he brought this to me. I'm gonna give this to my brother, but he's got a laser printer, and he's printing. He can print anything on there. I'm gonna have him do some cranky stacker ones, and SGT would look awesome on there, and the USMC and all that sort of thing. So I'm gonna have him do some cranky stacker ones coming up here. I think he's selling them for like $10 a piece, but it comes with a polished casing and a key ring on it, and you can have anything you want put on it. You could have Mishy stacker put on it. You could have.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and
SGTs would really look cool on that.
Wouldn't that be cool? His logo that his daughter did. I thought that'd be awesome. In a USMC, he can do anything. Anything you can send him some a drawing of he can do. So it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
be kind of cool. I think there's an auto pen involved in that, but not for. Yeah, what's Cartier's? Cartier says mail is crazy. 2 pieces of mail were sent to me and my roommate, both from the same person, same day. I got mine 5 days later. See, Cartier.
Oh, yeah.
I just wonder if somehow they've zoomed in on everything stacking. I wonder about that sometimes. If that's not something.
Well, that's why I tell people, other people in the community have said the same thing, is if you are mailing something, like, if I mail something to you, I don't use the S word in the mailing address.
Yeah.
It's cranky in your address, or like if at my return address I put Mishy, but I don't put the rest of it on there.
Or you put the cranky one to the cranky one. That's you did that,
Yeah, that's because that darn kiosk had a mind of its own.
That was great.
For people that don't know what we're talking about, I sent a package to Cranky, and I go in, kiosk, self-serve, do what you got to do, and it told me that I could not. I had to put a full name, which it had never done before. So I put the Cranky 1. And then it asked me for something else. So make the long story short, when the label printed, it was the Cranky 1 at my address going to Cranky at his address. So
it got here
something for my address.
maybe that's what confused it. It was from the cranky one to the cranky one.
Well,
Who
and then
knows?
a couple days later, the gal at the post office said, "Yeah, there was a glitch in it," and I said, "Yeah, obviously."
The postal service is a glitch.
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
your point, lady?
right.
Oh shoot.
No, but yeah, she's that particular lady. She used to work at the post office down the road from me. Now she works at that more, you know, more of a hub type thing. And
Yeah.
she's so frustrated with her employer. She goes, "You know what?" And she knows me well enough. She knows me by my first name. And she says, "You know what?" She goes, "I got 4 months to go and I can retire. Guess what I'm
Oh,
doing in 4 months?" She goes, "I
God
can't
bless
take it
her.
anymore." She says, "I'm supposed to stand here and smile and tell you everything's gonna be all right when I know it they're full of crap."
Yeah. Yep.
So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. I said it before on your stream that it just seems like God. We think that somebody in rank and file would take some pride and offer some suggestions
right,
to
right,
improve things, but they don't. It's like,
right.
okay, just go punch in and punch out.
Yeah.
Hey
Well, that's
Cartier.
like she was telling me. She said that they do that thing. Well, put your recommendation on this and submit it, and it never goes anywhere. So, uh,
Cartier, I see your comment here about sending things with tracking. I just a note to you, and this I experienced this with that package that they couldn't find Northern Ireland on the globe. Uh, uh, if you don't send it like express or what's the extra cost one, um, priority. If you don't send a
mhm.
package priority after like a week or 2 weeks, you don't get any more updates on your tracking. So it's anybody's guess after that. If you just send it right around with a tracking number, don't count on that because
Mhm.
that's happened to me specifically not too long ago about not having more than a week of tracking. So just a word to the wise, y'all. And that I can't imagine that being a thing here. I think that's probably throughout the whole system, and they won't tell you that.
Right.
Um, they wanted me to pay. I said, well, what's the point of paying for 4 to 6 days of guarantee, delivery if it's not guaranteed even in that 4 to 6 days? Well, you get the tracking. Like really,
Mhm.
whatever. It
Right.
just whatever. You may as well just throw a package up in the wind and hope a daggone bird comes by and takes it to its destination. I don't know.
Right.
All right,
Right.
I think everybody here knows how I feel about the postal service. Yeah, see, Cartier says he
I
uses
think most of us
priority.
all feel the same way.
And Cartier says he uses priority. I'm starting to think, and I'm rethinking a whole lot of things here. This jewelry thing that I started on. Not I'm not seeing a whole lot of interest in the pieces that I've done, and my best pieces I've sold, but it's been to people that I know here. Um,
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of interest in any of it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll start a different channel and go with it on that, and go back to bullion and regular pouring. But I'm thinking about adjusting the shipping on it and saying the SGD. I'm thinking about saying ship will be, find out what the basic priority rate is and explain it. If
Right.
you know, but how good is that for business if you know
Yeah.
if I mean everybody's used to $5 or $6 shipping.
Right.
And that
Exactly.
doesn't even cover it, for maybe it'll get there, maybe it won't, you
Right.
know.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think we should all band together and suggest that as the new. Remember how it used to be through rain or sleet, the postal service will not
Right.
fail. Maybe
Right.
we should just say maybe it'll get there, maybe it won't,
Right.
as the new slogan.
We deliver for you if and when we feel like it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
Cartier, how
remember that. The big commercial campaign. We deliver for you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
When we feel like it. When and if we feel like it.
Yeah, I got no faith.
Well,
But anyway, CNC
yeah.
nitros here. Cartier had about what's it cost to ship a like a 1 or 2 ounce package, like a envelope for priority. I'd be curious to know if it's the same everywhere too. Oh, well, okay. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Add to the price. That's well, and that works if you're doing custom pours and people are buying them, not in an auction setting. Unless you just start out your Littlefoot says $5 to $8. Okay. If you're doing an auction thing, you don't know if you're going to get whatever price you want or not.
Right.
I don't know. Heck, I haven't done anything in so long. I just literally have done nothing, Mishy. I'm so ashamed.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to take a break once in a while. So I wouldn't be ashamed. That's just called. Sometimes we got to hit the reset button because as much fun as we have with all this, it can stress you out every once in a while too. So if you got to shut it off and just forget about it for a while, that's normal.
I was kind of leaning towards that, but the less I do and the less I'm around it, it's like I kind of miss doing it, and I miss having fun doing it, but
Yeah.
it hasn't been fun for a while,
Yeah.
and I just haven't I haven't had time. I
Right.
just it has just been insanity around here, and now that I'm going to wind up spending more time back and forth to Missouri, it's I don't know. I got a buddy down there looking at some real estate, so we'll see how that goes. But too hot to be pouring unless you're blessed enough to pour in a temp controlled environment. Well, I'm not.
All right.
I do know SGT that it is not as hot as hell. So comparatively speaking, it's environmentally controlled. I don't know. So what else is going on? What's going on with little Mishy?
Nothing. He's working his tail off. He, putting away there. He's going on a trip down to I can't keep up with what kind of music he likes, but he's going down to Nashville like mid-July for 5 days. They're doing somebody's got the closest place they can find a venue where this band's doing a concert is Nashville from Michigan. So they're going down for that, and going to hit up some of the the cool spots, like this one, that one, and somebody else have restaurants or bars down there. They're going to check those out and all that. He drugged the old man to the Tiger game Friday night, and my 25-year streak continues of not seeing the Tigers win a baseball game in Comerica Park. Last time I saw the Tigers win in person was the last game at Tiger Stadium in September of '99. So I've kept my streak alive.
Yeah.
But then we're
a dubious honor.
And he's kind of got a thing there where he wants to see a ball game in as many different major league ballparks as possible. So in August we're gonna go down to Cincinnati and watch the Reds play. So
what's with this younger generation, Mishy? Who gets 5 days off in a row to have fun? I mean, seriously. Boy, I'm a little cranky today. I gotta.
Well, see, it's easy in my case because I can take a couple of days of PTO and have a week off. So because of our schedules, because we work those 12-hour days, so we take a couple days, take a couple PTO days, and I got a week off. So
nice.
But
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah, he's really good at saving money too. So he's
Very
not.
good.
Yeah, I wish I was half as good as he is at saving money and putting it away and forgetting it's there until you need it and all that stuff. And
Yeah, he should
and
do some.
he's well on the right road to the whole stacking thing. A couple ounces here, a couple ounces there, put it away, forget it's there, and
He should do some tutor videos, man.
What's that?
He should do some tutoring videos on.
I think he will. He just it's between work and everything else he's got going on. Just finding the time to sit down and do it, and then coming up with because we all got to have cool YouTube names, and I think eventually he will.
Be cool. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Sort
and
of
one
like
of these days I'll get him down. I'll be able to get him down here on a Monday, hopefully before they go back to school in the fall.
Yeah,
he's got one more semester left, so
we got to give him a few raspberries before he goes.
Yeah, he's got one more semester left of college, and he'll have his bachelor's, and then I think he's probably gonna take a year off and do whatever year off from school, do whatever, and decide if he wants to just stay with the bachelor's or if he wants to go back for his master's or whatever. So, but we've told him it's up to him. Do what he wants. So,
yeah, I think that boy's going to be successful no matter what he does.
Oh, I think so too, because he's very, very meticulous with what he does. So
Good
I
for him.
wish I would have had the smarts at 21 that he has at 21. So
yeah, I can say the same thing. That that's although my oldest son, God bless him, I got to get him into a place,
mm-hmm.
and it's just I take it for granted too. My God, there's so much available here in the city. As much as I hate living in a city, there's so much available. I go back down there and the town I grew up in is about 13,000 people, and
right,
there's just not that many amenities, and
right.
there's not a huge real estate thing. Although I looked at some property while I was down there, and man, dirt's really gotten expensive, even in the in the areas. It's like, how much for the dirt, man?
Right, exactly. Yeah,
it's and I think that's everywhere. My goodness.
Well, I saw a video earlier today. There's and it's just it doesn't tell you where it is. All it says is that it's in Michigan, 38.05 acres, and what looks like a manufactured home that was dropped on a foundation, and a pole barn and all this. And they're saying 50 grand. I'm like, yeah, it's that no. Nice try, but it's, I think, somebody, obviously AI probably, but
yeah,
it would be nice.
Yeah.
But then again, just like you say, you got to look at where it's at and what's around, and like I'd love to move up north when the time comes and stay there, but it's you got to go an hour that way or an hour and a half that way just to get groceries.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite that bad. I mean, this town it's 2.5 hours. It's exactly halfway between Kansas City and St. Louis. It's 2.5 hours either way.
Right.
And it's 30 minutes to Columbia, which is where the University of Missouri is at. So
right.
there's college football and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's really gotten to be a rough town. And Mike, I got something here. I don't know if you're just listening or watching, but I went to the store the other day, and I picked up a couple more of the Starlights. I'm gonna wrap with a bezel and make into necklaces. But look at this, Mike. This is so bizarre. I sent him the one that I wrapped before. That's a garnet on top, right? The one I
Oh,
I
wow.
wrapped and gifted to Mike had a garnet right in that same spot. I think it was actually on this top corner over here. So I'm gonna have to wrap that so the garnet sticks out on it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how hard it is to get a, a cross shaped tight fit on these things.
Right.
That was it was very nice though. I really like doing those. It's fun. Anyways, yeah. Well, I just I know it's I know it's real estate's going up everywhere, but gosh darn, and poor Miss Lori up here, she's I mean this place is paid for
Right.
and heavily invested in by yours truly, and
Yeah.
it's the original lease or the original mortgage payment is what we got to put away every month for property taxes in the state of Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. And we're unfortunate to have, we're one of the very few, well, I don't know if there's even a second state anymore. It used to be two, but I think we're the only one that has a unicameral now. Um,
Who?
Unicameral. We don't have state senators and state representatives. We have a unicameral. They're
Oh,
all,
okay.
yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, so there's one governing body in the state,
okay.
and it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. They're so out of touch with things. They're real concerned about affordable housing and all that kind of stuff, and yet they're taxing people out of their homes.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's like I know here we've got we've got township property tax, we've got county property tax, and it's like how many more taxes can people handle? And the people were joking around about it during the last administration, but it's far beyond the administration. Who's running this country. It's like to the point where you will own nothing and you will like it because
Yeah,
nobody can afford to own anything.
yeah. That's why they're building so many tiny homes and just apartments everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, just they're going up like remember that song Cracker Box Houses that was that John Lennon so many years ago? Cracker
Yeah.
Box. Yeah,
I think so.
Cracker Box
Yes.
Houses. Yeah. Anyway, don't ever accuse me of being able to sing. But
Yeah.
Mike says there's room up north. Mike, I love you, my friend, and I'm looking forward to getting up there. We're talking about maybe taking a little trip to South Dakota, and I ain't moving any farther north than this. I'm sorry. I love all of my northern friends, but this old redneck needs to be somewhere where his neck gets red in the summertime and his toes don't turn blue in the winter.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we've been talking about and here it is. This was pipe dream, getting a vacation, whatever. Going to I've been to South Dakota, but I've never really like seen anything. I've always wanted to go to the Badlands. I've always wanted to go to Black Hills, do some fly fishing. I've always wanted to go, heck, I've never seen Rushmore. And it, you know, it's a beautiful state. And it's real close. I just haven't ever gotten the chance to get there. You ever been to Rushmore, Mishy?
I have not seen a lot of pictures, but never
Yeah.
actually been there.
Well, from what I understand, it's not as big as it appears, as it seems in regular, like you'd picture it to be gigantic. Like the New York's the Statue of Liberty. Um,
Right.
it's like half the height of the arch in St. Louis. That the arch is like 620 feet high,
Yeah.
and when you're up in the top of that, looking out the observation windows, you can actually see it swaying. If you're not good
Ugh.
with heights, do not do this.
Ugh.
And you get these little elevator things that go up a ways, and then they angle up to the next, little landing, and then angle up to the next one. And it's yeah, it's about a
I'm good. I'll wait down on the ground for you.
it's about a 10 or 15-minute ride, I think, up to the top, and then you get out,
I'm
and they got
good.
these tiny little windows. It's pretty cool. It's big if you stand up on the heads. Well, okay. You know what? I'd like to have a chance to do that. Mike said it's big if you stand up on top of the heads.
Yeah.
I'm sure it could probably break a bone if you fell.
Yeah, I'm one of those ones. I get air sick just looking at pictures. If you ever go through and look at some of the pictures of the history, or from back in history of them building the Mackinac Bridge here in Michigan. And you've got these iron workers that are walking up those cables, no safety harnesses, no nothing. There's a freighter going under there that this guy's so high up, the freighter looks like it's about maybe a quarter of an inch long. No, I'm good. And then Mike Rowe, when he was doing Dirty Jobs, he did an episode at the Mackinac Bridge, and they do all this climbing up the cables, changing the light bulbs, and then they get up to the top, and he's like sweating because it's like, yeah, it's kind of high up, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, come on, let's go take the elevator back down. Like, jerks.
Yeah. Well, hey, yeah. That kind of stuff it doesn't bother me. I've been as high as 150 foot in a man lift, and big bucket, and there's a little sway in those. But you got to just tap the handle, and it swings about 5 foot past where you want to go, and then back to where there's definitely a talent to running them things up in the air. Standing up on the rail, and you don't want to drop a bolt or anything from that height. It's rather hazardous.
I got a problem with going up in anything like man lift or cherry picker or whatever. I don't know if you saw the video they were out servicing the traffic signals, and 18-wheeler comes by and smokes the bucket with the guy in it.
Ooh, no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that was. Unfortunately, he had a harness on, so he didn't go anywhere, and he wasn't hurt. But it's just the thought. It's like, yeah, you know what? No, I'm perfectly good with both on the ground.
Well, and you say he wasn't hurt, but I'll tell you what, you get yanked around in one of them harnesses.
Yeah, I'm sure he's.
I mean, I've had.
He's alive to talk about it.
I've had like the hydraulics go out, 40 feet in the air, and you drop about 5 feet, and then the safety kicks in, but it'll jerk a bruise around your legs and your shoulders where that harness is. But the alternative is to fall out. I had a buddy that was a tree guy, and he got the hydraulics went out on his lift, and it threw him out, and he wasn't tied off, but threw him out and came down on him, and that was not a good day.
Right.
So stuff does happen, but you do your best to do it safe.
If I was meant to climb ladders or do any of that, I would have been a firefighter. But we used to get where they would call us for roof alarms. Fire department would pull up, put a ladder up to the side of the building and go, there you go. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do with that? Well, you go up the roof. No, I'm not. Hell no.
What am I supposed to do with that? You go first, dude.
Yeah. Or they would, we didn't. It was cool if a ladder truck showed up. I didn't have a problem with that, but me and extension ladders don't get along.
Yeah. So the next time a guy does that, you just hand him your service weapon and say, "No, here you go."
Right?
I got your back.
Yes. Right? Yeah, from down here on the ground.
Oh man. Well, what's your what's your plans coming up for stacking? Man, I
I
picked nothing up.
there's
Not even any copper.
I've been grabbing 90% as I can find it. So
Well, now I just lied. I've been watching my you got a nice bit of 90% going. You got some great copper.
yeah.
I
I
lied.
actually picked this up from T. I thought this was pretty cool. I ended up putting the silver Michigan quarters in there. That's a quarter tube.
Yeah, I saw that
in
that
made to
video
look like
was.
shotgun shell.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it a lot. I'm lying. I did pick some copper up, but it wasn't by. These have been in my.
Oh, here, let me get you out here. See.
No. Show your shell first. I'm sorry. That
I
was rude.
I did. No. You're good.
Turn it.
Here.
I got a 1926. Oh, just see.
It's
Official. Yeah. I hope I don't get sued for plagiarism on that. There's a 1926 Wheatie, 1967 Wheatie, and a 1979 Wheatie in pocket change in the last.
Nice.
That's my pickups for June.
Hey, it's better than some people.
No, it's not. It's pathetic.
Yeah.
I know. Pick up what you can, but we really ain't had time to do. I ain't had no time to go shopping. And I think it's fairly common knowledge. They're doing some advertising now. Hi, Vegas Stacker. I'm sorry. I saw you come in and I didn't see you say hi earlier. Thanks for coming in. We have a Elementals office opening here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but you know what? It's Dave's office. If anybody knows who Dave is with Coinhuskers Bullion, and he's been doing videos from Thailand, and I thought, well, gosh, cool. He's on vacation before he opens this other deal here, and then I started thinking, well, heck, I haven't talked to him in a long time. Maybe he sold and he moved to his property in Thailand. I don't know. I don't know if he's over there vacationing or what, but it just occurred to me. It's like, well, maybe he's not coming back. Yeah, so
maybe they made him an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah. Except they wouldn't buy none of them would buy an American Gold Eagle,
right?
In his videos, that was amazing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm sticking with cheapest buffaloes I can find or whatever rounds, and that's about it. Next time I buy, it's going to be just a few pieces. It's probably going to be through Hero too, because again, they've been running pretty good pricing on buffaloes, like 79 cents over spot.
Yeah.
And I got a tube of theirs started. They're real pretty ones, but free shipping after $149. That's about the best out there. So
yeah, and I've bought a couple times from them, and just the experience has been phenomenal.
Well, and
service and everything.
Yeah, I talked to I said it before. I think his name's Steve there.
Yeah.
In customer service, and I had a question about some questions Lori had for some of her money that I really wanted to get moved around, but I called him and talked to him for a while, and he was very helpful. And it wasn't even anything they were going to make any money on,
right.
But he was good help. He was very nice to take the time and actually kind of sounded excited to talk about it. It was kind of cool phone call. Yeah. So yeah. I see Littlefoot's come in. Cool. Yeah. Cool. Well, what else is going on with you, Missy?
Not a whole heck of a lot, just working, stacking a little here, stacking a little there, and you know, trying to enjoy summer. If we get we didn't have the gradual warm up. We went from early spring to uh Arizona in August around here. uh just the And of course, the added fact, when I retired, I vowed I was never going to wear a vest again. Well, here I am, still wearing a vest every day and paying for it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
So all that, I've said to several people, I said, that's for all you guys that love this hot, humid weather. I got a vest for you that you can wear that'll change your mind.
Yeah.
But no, still trying to make the best of it. Like I said, we went to the Tiger game Friday night, and it was still kind of hot and crappy, but my son's real good at picking seats, so we were in the shady part, and there was a breeze, so it wasn't too bad. So
Nice. Yeah.
hoping to probably attempt to get to a few more Mud Hens games this summer before baseball season's over, and just taking life one day at a time.
Who won the College World Series?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me either.
About 5 minutes of
it. Isn't that sad?
I saw about 5 minutes of it because the TV around here is so goofy. It's where they tell you, oh yeah, it's gonna be on Fox, or it's gonna be on ABC, or it's gonna be on, and then when you go to look for it, you can't find it. Oh yeah, well they decided to move it to inner cable channel here, and my in the and saving money and all that. I don't have cable. I don't have streaming services. I have one streaming service on my phone that's free. Because it's just I can never justify paying for things that were free not that long ago. You want to watch your favorite TV show, now you got to pay $19.95 a month to watch it on your phone. And it's I've as far as sports go, I'm one of those old farts that I still have one of those ancient devices. It's called a radio.
Yeah.
I'll listen to the ball games on the radio. I'll listen to the hockey games during hockey season on the radio. Because I can't, in my mind, I can't process paying all this money for cable or satellite, and then I'll give you the prime, well, no pun intended, the prime example with NASCAR. I love auto racing. I've loved auto racing since I was a kid. Now, in 2001, they signed a TV deal where it was Fox and NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Every race, the first half of the season was on Fox, second half NBC, and then the next year it would be NBC first half, Fox second half. Everything was on regular TV. They had waiting lists for tickets at the tracks. People wanted to get season tickets to MIS, to Chicagoland, Daytona, wherever. Now they can't even fill the seats they got. They cut our seating at Michigan in half, and they still can't fill the seats on a Sunday race day.
Wow.
Because now it's okay. The first three races are going to be on Fox. Then we're going to put the next 7 races on FS1, and then we're going to throw Amazon Prime in here for 5 races. Then we're going to go to TNT, and eventually, like, the last 3 races of the season will be on NBC. And they can't figure out why, because nobody's going to pay the money. It used to be free.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went looking for the College World Series. I saw about 5 minutes of it, and then it disappeared on us. So doing it again. Let's see here.
You're still there.
Okay. I got cranky spinning again. Anybody else having the same thing?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Well, apparently the cameras.
Let's see. We're gonna try moving this around. I don't know if it's mine or what's going on.
It could be mine, but my camera's working.
Oh, there you are.
Well, is that a trick? Because I was here all the time.
You were spinning again. all this was black, and you had the little spinny thingy in the middle.
Spinny thingy. I love your technology terms. You're just like me, the spinny thingy.
Well,
and everybody, funny. Everybody knows what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, it started telling me that I had to move closer to my router again. Well, you take the thingamabob and you attach it to the doohickey, and then you put the spinny thingy on top.
Whatchamacallit? Yeah.
Yeah, the hoo dang.
Yeah. Did you the hoo dang? Which did you? Did you bring your modem with you? Did you bring you didn't bring your modem with you, did you? That was a Foxworthy. Yeah, modem. Well, I'm not a Dodge guy, so I ain't got no modem.
There you go.
Yeah. Did you see that spoof Dodge truck ad the other day? It had the protester version of the Dodge 1500. It had like blood splattered all over the paint job.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one.
That's just wrong. I loved it, but it's wrong. Oh.
Well, we were just talking about NASCAR. They're actually coming back to NASCAR in the Truck Series next year. So
cool.
That'll be cool to watch. Get some of them Toyotas off the track and get the guys back in American vehicles. So
nice.
Yeah. And hopefully they're saying possibly 27 or 28 they'll be back in the other two series. So
well, I hope they I hope they do it. By golly, they should.
I'll have to see if I can find a video and send it to you when they made the big announcement that they were coming back to the Craftsman Truck Series. They actually did that at Michigan Speedway when we were there earlier this month.
Nice.
And it was really cool how they did it too. So
excellent. I like it. I like it.
Yes.
Well, I don't. I wish I had some stuff to show off, but I just don't. I don't got no. I do have some rocks.
I don't either. I just, like I said, I've been picking up dimes, quarters. I did get a right place, right time. Picked up we were talking about 80% because I like my Canadian silver too.
Mm-hmm.
And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And let's see here. Let me do that. And was able to get my hands on a 58 Canadian silver dollar.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's the Vancouver, I think, British Columbia with the totem pole on it. And yeah.
Well, that's cool. I've never seen one of those before. Got the Young Queen?
Yep.
I like it.
Got her. Let me see if I can say this as good as Canadian Silver Seeker says it. The her first effigy. So
yeah, that's cool. Well, I don't think I've ever seen one of those.
That was another one for the tube. So
nice pick.
Gotten all the way up to 5 now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, to quote my good friend Charlie Brown, I got a rock.
Uh-oh.
It's a decent rock. It's a blue opal.
Uh-huh.
So, and Cherie Ward has a bunch of there you go. There's the you can't really see the color. It's really a pretty. There's the blue. See it?
Oh yeah.
That's gonna make something really nice. But Cherie Ward's got a bunch of gemstones that will be suitable for cast in place. I'm gonna get that down yet, but it should be fun. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yep, I'm hooked on that. It's really fun, except for the part where my hands quit working.
Right.
After an hour or something, I start dropping everything all the time, and
Yeah.
hopefully this surgery will handle that.
Oh, it will. It will.
Good.
Because I mean,
I'm
I know
counting on.
you've got a little extra with yours compared to what I had, but let me get us back out this way here. I'm not supposed to be able to do this at
Yeah.
all. Because when I had my incident, this just kind of hung there at my side, my hand and my arm. Like I put it's like a that log of salami you see at the deli, just hanging there on my side of my
Yeah.
body. Well,
Yeah.
I can bend my elbow again. I can reach over my head. I can grab things with my right hand again. So
Nice.
you're gonna and you're gonna have the same success. So
Well, I'm counting on it.
let's see here. And Marsh, haven't been to MIS in a while. Well, it's not as cool as it used to be. It used to be a time where you could definitely spend a crap ton of money out there because every driver had a souvenir hauler. Now they cram 5 or 6 in one. You used to have the seats used to go from turn 4 all the way around, just about into turn 2. Well, everything turn 2, everything turn 4 or turn 3, all the way around to turn 4 is gone. So it's essentially just the center grandstands again. So
Wow.
yeah,
What the heck? What is as good as it used to be?
You're right. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, and it's crazy. They like I said, they used to have a waiting list for tickets, and now they can't sell what they got. So
That's just a shame.
yeah,
That's a shame. Well, we get down to $1.40 gas again. Maybe they'll. What do they burn in those?
what's that?
In
The stock cars.
yeah.
They're running what do they call it? An eco-friendly racing fuel.
Okay.
Whatever the hell that means.
That's kind of like buying food and it says fillers as one of the ingredients. What the hell is
Well, my understanding is it's not it's higher octane than what you would put in your personal vehicle, but it's not as whatever they want to call it as what race fuel used to be. So I mean they're even experimenting with a damn electric stock car, and it's like, yeah, pretty much,
yeah.
totally
Count me out.
your sport.
Yeah.
Go ahead with that.
Yeah.
And the thing that they actually tested it on the street course in Chicago, where they're going to be this weekend. And it was one of those Mustang, whatever the heck that Mustang SUV looking thing is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounded like somebody took the governor off of a lawnmower. And when the thing went by, all you heard was, and that was all you heard.
That's half the fun.
Loud too.
Wow.
And Formula One even played around with it. They had what they called the Formula E series, and I don't know if they got rid of that or what, because I haven't seen them on TV in a long time. Where if you're not looking at the TV, it sounds like a lawnmower race.
Well, I think I saw that on TV the other day. They were running a race and they kept talking about this guy's down to 4%, and coming into a certain turn now he's down to 1%, and he can he make it to the finish line? What?
Right. Well, and even like with, well, at least the Cup Series in NASCAR, they've tried so hard to make it like open wheel. So like your IndyCar, your Formula One, that and that's driving a lot of people away too, where your
Yeah.
tires, your tires now, when they change them, it's not 5 lug nuts. It's a hub like they use
Yeah.
in open wheel. And they've had so much trouble with tires coming off. It's like, what are you trying to kill these guys? Because if you're going 180 miles an hour and a tire comes off, yeah, you're in trouble.
There's a problem. Yeah.
But
you said something about the old days with the higher octane. Yeah, it was like 190 proof.
Yeah, right.
For them old schoolers.
You'd get out of the car in the parking lot at MIS on race day. Anybody that's ever been there before, I know, and Marsh probably knows what I'm talking about. You get out in the parking lot, you're a good ways away from the actual track. I mean, you used to have to get on a tram and ride the tram around to go. You get out in the parking lot, you could smell the race fuel, you could smell the tires, and it was like, kind of like the guy in the movie was like, oh, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Well, us, it was, oh, I love the smell of rubber and race fuel on a Sunday morning.
There you go.
And now it's, the days of parking out in the giggly weeds and getting a ride or over, you got to walk everywhere. And unless you come in from the north, if you come in like normal people, you got to walk. It's just, a lot of things that changed, and they can't figure out why their fan base is disappearing. So
that's a shame. Yeah.
It'll go back to the old days where, oh, you must be a redneck because you like NASCAR. Do you have a banjo at home too?
Yeah, 5-string.
Right. Well, we're coming up on about an hour here, and I know you're probably getting sore.
I'm a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. So I figure we could probably wrap it up for today.
Very good.
Go relax your back and all that good stuff. And it's pretty good conversation. Like I always say when I post the thing on here for, hey, we're going to be live. Everything's on the table. So we talk about metals. We talk about, why the sky is blue, the grass is green, and all that good stuff. And, if you're the praying type, I just say, we really need to pray for our world, pray for our country. And because I know, Cranky, you and I talked about it. I never thought I would see the day that you would have to have armed security at a church.
Yep.
And just a couple weeks ago, well, going on 3 weeks ago now. No, actually 3 weeks ago. I'm sorry, coming up on 2 weeks ago. My weekends are goofed up here. We had a guy that intended to walk into a church and open fire here in Metro Detroit. It made the national news. And a parishioner hit this guy with his full-size pickup truck. The guy got up, continued to shoot, shot a security person at the church, and then was eventually unalived by another security person. And I never ever in my life thought I would have to see would see the day that you would have to have armed security in a church.
Yep.
But just if you're the praying type, pray for our world, pray for our country, pray for each other. And with that, we're going to wrap it up for this time around.
Fair enough. Fair
enough. It's always a pleasure getting to hang out with you. I know
yes, sir.
You're not always feeling well, and you still pop in here and have fun with us. And
I have a good time with you, my friend, always.
And we love you, man. It's your thing's going to be probably coming here sooner rather than later, and
yep,
got you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Love everybody out there.
Yeah.
I almost got on a rant tonight, but maybe next time.
Well,
I was a little cranky tonight. I don't understand where that came from, but I'm not going to apologize because, like I said before, I am the designated cranky one. So,
see, that's why whenever I call mine the Mishy meltdowns, because I don't want to call them call them rants because those are
I have no
trademarked for the cranky one.
I have no copyright on that, but that's appreciated. But you call it what you want to. But matter of fact, you can do a meltdown on rants or a rant on meltdowns.
Well,
and it would be
I
fine.
thought about doing one there, especially with all the craziness that's been going on, and then just like even the stupidity here, the last Monday, was the what they used to call the Freedom Festival fireworks downtown Detroit. And it's just, and I do a lot, and there's a lot of other people just like me that try to lift up the city we grew up in.
Yep.
We try, because all you guys ever hear of, like out of state or even like off in the distance in Michigan, is all the bad. You guys never hear about the good stuff that happens here. Yep. So I try to bring out the good stuff.
A lot of it.
The big Christmas celebration in Campus Martius, and I went down there and did that video down there.
Yep. There's a lot of good stuff going on there.
Stuff. I know I irritated a couple of people with the shorts I did going up to Detroit Friday. But just showing off the good stuff. And yet you have these two buffoons, and that's what I'm going to call them, that decided they needed to come downtown Detroit when, whether it's legal or not, that the entire downtown area on fireworks night is a pistol-free zone. They come down with a gun, start pushing and shoving. This guy tries to defend himself, this kid tries to defend himself and his older sister, and they both end up shot. And it's like, okay, and you wonder why everybody looks down on Detroit. So, I was going to have a meltdown on that one, but, they're not going to hear me. So, but, all right, we're going to wrap it up for tonight. Keep stacking, keep hunting, and we'll see you soon. Cranky.
Yep. Keep your head on a swivel, folks. Stay safe, shoot straight, Amen. Keep stacking, and stack the right stuff.
All right, everybody. We'll see you soon, everybody. We're out.